Hi guys, and welcome to episode number 27 of the Survival Project. Now you may see things are looking quite a bit different at the moment, and that's because we don't have our resource pack on. I've updated the world all the way up to the very first 1.16 snapshot, and that's just because I'm really excited to sort of get the new blocks and go and explore in the Nether and all of that sort of stuff. So I thought I'd just skip out 1.15 entirely and jump straight for it. Now, of course, we're missing optifine now, so we've got no zoom button, and we've also got no replay mod, but that's fine. We'll find a way to work around that. In the last episode, we sort of worked on this little bit here, but what I'm going to be doing today is jumping straight on into the Nether and just having a little look around and seeing what that's like. So I've deleted all of my old Nether chunks, and we've got a whole new Nether to go and explore. So I am going to jump on through our Nether portal and just see what we've got. Now, I did jump in very briefly anyway, so I do actually know. Some of these textures I'm definitely going to have to change, so I'm going to have to update our texture pack. But yeah, let's jump through. I'm going to stop recording for going through the Nether portal, just in case it causes too much of a lag spike. So yeah, I'll see you on the other side. Yeah, this looks very different. So the spawn location is actually very similar to my original spawn location, just on the edge of a little cliff facing. But yeah, this looks so cool. I love this little blue hue that we've got, and that did not work out for me. So let's just have a little fly around real quick. First thing I notice is there is a lot more mobs here. Wow. Okay, let's get up here for a little bit of safety real quick. I need to turn the volume down. Well, that was a little bit terrifying. So what we've got here is the soul sand biome, which is really cool. There's loads of mobs here, and there's loads of like little bone blocks and that about the place, so that's pretty cool. But there is a hell of a lot of ghasts spawning. So I'm guessing they've just upped the algorithm for them spawning. Yeah, that's kind of interesting, but this isn't really what I want. I mean, the soul sand and that's really cool. I know we can make the blue flames using this soul... Is it soul soil or soul sand? I'll find out when I gather some of it up. I'm just hiding from ghasts at the moment. I'm not sure what that block there is, though. I don't actually remember looking at that, so let's go and find out what that is. So, this stuff is called basalt, which is interesting. Oh, when did I look at you? Thank you very much. Yeah, so I guess, like, from a new game perspective, it's kind of easy gathering for ender pearls and stuff like that, which is great. This is... yeah, there you go. So there's the blue torch. Doesn't seem to be in the crafting book at the moment, but that's cool. So, yeah, this is called soul soil, so that becomes... we can use that to basically create blue torches and blue lanterns, which I think is really cool. First thing that comes to mind for me are those sort of bluey looking logs, and that is like, that's such a weird transition from red to blue. Yeah, that's really strange, but yeah, it's like a ghost pirate ship and stuff like that. So obviously we've got these blocks now as well, so crimson stem, which is basically just a new wood variant, and I really feel like we can make something really sort of like, I don't know, like a really evil looking castle type build thing with them. These here, we got the weeping vines, which are absolutely awesome. And that block there, oh, it's just a nether wart block. Wow. Yeah, that makes collecting that a lot easier. What is the correct tool to collect nether wart blocks? That's pretty slow, to be honest, using that. What else have we got here? So if we break that, these are crimson roots, which is really cool. I'd be interested to see what a lot of these blocks look like in the actual overworld, so I'm going to gather up a bunch of this wood just so we can break it down into all the other bits and look at what we've got. So I'm going to do that for a bit, and then we can go and have a look at the other little biome. And just while I'm on, well, just while we're here, looking at these guys, I thought the pigmen were supposed to be changing, but I'm not sure whether the pigmen stay and piglins get added in as extra, so that could be a thing. Oh, actually, there's another block here as well. Let's see what this is. Shroom light. Oh, is that another light block? It is indeed. Okay, that's really cool. Looks a bit like glowstone to me. It looks like a modded or retextured glowstone. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, let me just gather up a load of this. We'll have a look at the other biome in a sec. So another thing I've just noticed is my Nether fortress is actually still in the exact same place as well. So that's really, really handy. It's like the biome generation stayed fairly similar, but also has been a little bit different. Wow, there are so many of these guys. All right, let's hide out over here, and that should let them lose sight of us. Just gonna gather up a bunch of all this blue stuff now. So let's see what this is. This one is a warped Nether warp block, which is really cool. I really love this like little blue texture. Like, there's a lot of cool things that we could do with this, I think. But yeah, we're gonna just gather up a load of stuff here. I'll go back into the overworld and then we can take a bit of a look at what we've actually got. Okay, so I spent a bit of time gathering up a load of the resources and that, and I've just repaired all of my stuff because I spent a long time just strip mining in the Nether to get hold of this ancient debris, which is pretty cool. I mean, we break it down with our silk touch and we keep hold of it. But I think that if we use our fortune pick, we should... Oh, it still goes the same. Maybe we need to smelt this one up. Where are my smelters? I actually don't know where I smelt in this world, because I don't think I've got a super smelter or anything. Oh, some of this stuff looks so weird in the regular texture pack, like the gravel being here. If I'm gonna keep the regular textures, then I'm gonna have to go around and replace all this gravel, but that is fine. Let's have a look. Do I have a smelting room? Yes, we got that in there. Yeah, okay, so we smelt this up, and this should give us a new type of ore. Let's have a look. If we get there, I'm just going to swap back over to my silk touch. Yeah, so this gives us netherite scraps, which is great. And with netherite scraps, I believe we probably need a bunch of these, and then we can make a new ingot. I don't know, it's a little bit confusing. Hang on. Yeah, I still can't do it yet. How do I make these ingots? Netherite ingots. Okay, so we need 4 netherite scraps and 4 gold ingots. Do I have any gold in here? Probably not. I have things that I can melt into nuggets. Alright, I'm going to hunt around. I know I've got some gold somewhere in this world, so I'm going to hunt around for that. We'll get this ancient debris sort of smelted up, and then I can show you guys what we do with that and go through the different types of blocks that we've got. So yeah, give me just a sec. So we've got to have some gold around here, I'd assume. I don't need that gravel, I don't think. Have a look, see if we've got any in here. We have indeed. Oh, so crafting. We don't have a crafting table though. Excellent. I have got too much stuff in my inventory. I've got loads of green carpet and torches because I was going around lighting the entire island up. So that's why they're all there. Let's pop one of these crafting tables down real quick. So now I should be able to make this netherite, and I can get 2 of them. And from my understanding now, I literally just need to put that and that together and we get a netherite shovel. But is that going to take all of my enchantments off of it? Because that is not ideal. Or do we want to just make new tools? We could just make some new tools. If I get like 6 of these, or maybe what I'll do is actually I'll build armor first, because I think the armor looks really, really cool. So let's just break this down, and we'll make a diamond helmet and some diamond shoes, and we'll start off like that. Yeah, there you go. Right, so netherite boots and netherite helmet, and look how cool they look. Like, you know, it's all well and good having diamonds and that, but this armor just looks so much better. Like, being bright blue all the time just is not the one. So that looks really, really cool. We need to get the leggings, obviously. I'm not going to bother making a top just because there's no point in having a chest plate because I always wear the elytra. And then we're going to want to get all of the tools swapped over, but this stuff is really, really rare, and we've only got one left now, so yeah. Okay, I'm going to get some blocks set up so we can have a bit of a look at what these new blocks look like, so let me just get that done and we can jump back. So welcome to the Unorthodox server. I'm just jumping in here to say that I have not forgotten about this project. I am working quite heavily on it at the moment, actually. It's taking quite a long time, but I'm really excited for what I've got done so far, and we're so nearly there to it being done. So you might not see any more episodes from Unorthodox for a little while, just until this is actually set up. It's taken me quite a long time to do, but I think in the long run it's going to be worthwhile, and when you check out other people's videos while they're playing it, I think it's all going to look really, really great. Anyway, with that very short interruption done, let's jump back into the regular survival project episode. So I've gathered up a bunch of the different block types we get out of this now, just to have a bit of a look at it. I actually forgot to grab some of the red version of this, but this is the warped nylium, and it's basically just netherrack with like the blue top on it, so that's kind of cool, I suppose. Don't really know what I could use that for just yet, but it's interesting to see. So we got the two different log types, or stems as they like to call them. So again, these are directional, you can place them either way, and if you look closely you can see that they actually shine, which is a really, really cool feature. And these ones at the moment we're looking at the warped ones, so all of the blue stuff is called warped, and look at that. That is a really, really nice texture, and it could, but I just tried to zoom in, see, I'm so used to using optifine. It could replace that along the top there, and that could be a lot easier for us to get a hold of, because this stuff insta-mines with the axe, so all of this just down, done, gone, nice and quick, which is great. So yeah, all of this stuff on this side is looking really, really cool. I love all of this blue stuff. These doors look absolutely amazing, and I really think building some form of a ghost ship would be really, really good for that. Obviously, that's not really going to work too well in this world. Everything we're building is very sort of Japanese inspired. I guess we might be able to work it in. I'm going to try and work something out for that, because look at this trapdoor. This thing is awesome. I'm a huge fan of the way it's just like a little bit broken up and that. I just think it looks absolutely great. Now, this is the what is it actually called? Warped fungi. So this will eventually become one of those trees, which is great. Over here we've got that wart light, whatever they called it, Nether wart light. It looks okay. I can't really see myself using it. This stuff though, what is it? Basalt. This texture is absolutely awesome. So it is directional. We can place it this way along as well, and we get another little pattern along the side there. We can make really cool little floor patterns out of it, and we've even got like an almost cobblestoney texture on the top there as well, which is really, really awesome. I think this is one of my favourite blocks at the moment out of the new lot. These doors as well, I absolutely love them, and this trapdoor. But yeah, this one is really, really cool. There was something I did notice with all of this though. Look how long it takes me to break the door. That's with a normal axe. With a pickaxe, all of these have got efficiency 5 on them. Try a shovel as well, it's all the same speed. So I've got a feeling that the actual break-in timing hasn't been implemented yet. I don't know whether... Okay, so it's fine for that, but like the door, it just doesn't want to break it down. So that's a little bit strange. These plants as well, we could do something really cool with those. Now, onto this side. We'll start over here. So the actual tree bark texture is absolutely awesome. I really, really love that. And again, it's directional. It's got like a little bit of a glow to it. Not quite as strong as this side. But yeah, it just looks really, really good. I'm a little bit disappointed with how sort of pinky purpley these blocks are over here though. Like that, I would have preferred it if they were more red. So that could be something that we could look into in like a resource pack or something, just adding a bit of a more red hue to this. So rather than it being this colour, I mean, it doesn't really resemble anything that's on this block. And this side, you can see the blue is so clearly taken from the sort of cracks in there. So I'd be tempted to come along, pick up some of these colours that are sort of shining through this block and retexturing all of this so it looks a bit more like that. The doors look really good, but again, I'd want them to be more red than they are. And this trapdoor, yeah, it's okay. It makes for some like really good sort of drainage looking things, but again, it's a little bit too pink to actually for me to see myself using, at least anyway. I'm sure some people can come up with some really cool stuff for it. We got this plant here as well. I think that looks really nice, and of course we got the vines, and the vines look really cool. Once they've grown a little bit as well, but yeah, I can't get that to grow any quicker at the moment. So yeah, this is like the bulk of the new blocks that we have at the moment. There could be more to come and all of that sort of stuff. We're just going to have to keep watching as the snapshots come through. But yeah, this is a really awesome update. So much so it made me just say sod it to the replay mod and just jump straight forward. So yeah, I really look forward to actually doing some stuff with this. I just got to find a way to make it actually work within our world. Now, I went into a creative world and I've built something up. It's not relevant to this survival world at all. I'm actually wondering whether I'm going to upload this as a part of the survival project at this point, because we kind of are just looking at new textures, but I went way over the top with what I was building. So we're going to jump into that world. I'm also just going to have a little mock-up of this wall design as well, just so we can see what it looks like with these blocks in instead of those ones. So yeah, let me just jump into that real quick and we'll take a quick look at what we've done there. So just to look at this wall real quick, I've replaced the andesite because obviously the andesite looks different without a resource pack on, but I think this looks okay like this. I'm not sure whether I prefer it the other way round though, using the prismarine. I think maybe the prismarine does look a little bit better. Um, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. I might need to actually just give it a go next to the prismarine in the survival project and then see how we feel from there, but I think this looks all right. It's a really good alternative if we didn't just make a if we didn't just make a guardian farm. This would be a really good alternative, but we did just make a guardian farm, and that really makes me not want to do this just because we put all of the effort in. So yeah, I thought I'd just have a little bit of a look around in that and see what the new update was all about. I don't really have any time to do mass amounts of building or anything in today's episode, but I've had a few thoughts, and if you want to drop some comments down below about what you think about what I'm about to say, then that would be appreciated. So originally I said that this was going to be a zoo, and I've run off of that idea of it being a zoo for quite a while, and we've gathered up a load of different animals in that. Now, I have intentions of keeping some of these animals about if I do go through with this new plan. Like the foxes, I'm not going to let them go. I'm going to find a way to get them in the world somewhere. The llamas, I'm not too fussed about. The polar bears. Yeah, maybe we could keep the polar bears. I don't know where we'd put them though. The rabbits can go. The pandas. This is what I'm sort of getting to here. I really feel like this world would benefit more from this becoming like a panda enclosure, like a sort of like safety area for pandas, a sanctuary. I think that's the right word that we're going to use here. So like it'll become like a panda sanctuary rather than a zoo. And we'll just kit all of this out and turn it into a really nice little habitat for the pandas to live in. We'll have like a building that they can go into, so we can sort of like look after them and that if needs be. It's just a small building on the side. Obviously, you know, it's Minecraft. We don't actually have to look after them, but you know, from the design perspective, it'd be cool to have that. But yeah, rather than this being an actual zoo, this just becomes an animal sanctuary for pandas, and I think that could be really cool. I do really like that idea. and I'm swaying more towards that at the moment than building a zoo. So you can see I sort of started hollowing this area out here, and I've done it in sort of like 3 different layers because I was gonna put the polar bears in here, I think. So we had this top circle here, which is where we was gonna have our habitat, and then we was gonna have like a little water ridge here, and then down there it was just gonna be a bit of dead space, so there was a gap, and then up here we was gonna have like the little viewing area. The more I started doing it, and the more I started widening this out, I started to realise, one, that's not enough space to make a decent looking enclosure. And we'd have to attach a building to it as well to make it look like a realistic zoo. And yeah, once we've got space for all of the animals in here, there is no space left. It's going to be so tight, and we're not going to be able to get too much variation in. Like, I wanted to get these cliff facings coming up and down and getting a load of different height variation in and all of that sort of stuff. But doing this zoo is really going to sort of restrict that. I thought it was a really good idea to begin with, but I'm really swaying towards turning this into a panda sanctuary. So this entire island just becoming a bit of a panda sanctuary. So that means we're going to have to find a way to actually seal this gate off so that they can't get in and out. I'm definitely going to keep that there. I think that looks really, really awesome. And I probably will put one on the other side like I was talking about as well anyway. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking at the moment. And another thing that I have been thinking about is this area here. I'm still going to build like a little city. We need to get a bunch of houses in here. But originally I was going to have like this really tight big city here. But I'm thinking I might not make it quite as tight anymore. This island's missing some really sort of key ingredients to having a population of people surviving on it. Now, we could build a dock and we could have trading, but we don't have any area, and we didn't plan for any area for the people living here to grow crops or to raise cattle to sort of like survive, as it were. So that means I'm actually going to have to, for it to be a bit more realistic, I'm going to have to do something like that. And the only real space we got left is this island. So I'm thinking this sort of, I'm going to call it the left-hand side because I tend to view it from this side. So this left-hand side here, up to where this sort of ravine is, I'm going to fill that ravine in. I've got no real use for it, I don't think, unless I can come up with something. But yeah, this entire side here, I'm going to sort of turn into like crops and all of that sort of good stuff. All that stuff that they're just going to need to survive. And then we can have some like, little cow farms, like cattle farms and stuff like that about as well. And then we'll have a bunch of houses along this side, but just not quite as tight knit as I was first sort of making the city out to be. It's going to be a little bit tighter together, and we're going to have probably not like a castle or a palace type thing, but I do really want to get like a nice big build up on this hillside here. Obviously we're going to do a load of terraforming, and it's probably not going to look anything like this, but I'm thinking around this area we do want to get some sort of a big building, and then leading down to around there where I'm sort of highlighting with the crosshair, like we're going to have a little docks area there. So this is going to be like the most sort of richest member of the island basically is going to live up there, and we're going to build something quite nice and extravagant. Probably the guy who's funding this this little sanctuary for the pandas. There are a lot of mobs spawning right now. Yeah, so I really love the new update. I want to change some of the textures just to suit us a bit better, and I need to find a way that I can incorporate it into our world. And I know this has been a little bit of a different episode today. We've not done any building or anything. We've just kind of had a bit of a look at things. But yeah, it's necessary sometimes. And I am glad actually that I jumped into 1.16. My frames are so much better at the moment. So I'm going to work on getting some of the textures moved over. I don't think I'm going to do the entire texture pack. Like, what I mean by that is I've been using some of Germsy Boy's textures for quite a while, and I've been wanting to step away from that for quite a while as well. So I think now, updating to 1.16, this is sort of the perfect time for us to walk away from his texture pack. My textures that I made, so let me just zoom in a little bit. Like the what are they called? Those birch trapdoors and that. I'm definitely gonna re-implement them. And then I've got my white stained glass one as well. That's definitely coming over. But I think going forward, we are going to be using some of the more vanilla textures and that. I might have to bring my orange glass over as well to make the lighthouse look right again. But yeah, I'm not unhappy with the way the world looks. And I think in part that's because on Ortho blocks we are just using the plain textures. So I've kind of gotten a lot more used to using the regular textures and that. But, you know, there are a few things will change. Probably just the trapdoors and the glass, to be totally honest. Everything else looks perfectly fine. I might make this orange look a little bit more red. Other than that, I think that is pretty much it. I've not really got much else to add for today. Now, in the next episode, just because I want to get the feedback from people, I want to leave it a little bit of space and time. Let me know what you think about the sanctuary bit. Drop it down in the comments. Sanctuary or zoo, basically. That is the question. But yeah, in the next episode, I actually want to work on this island. You can see I started building it up already. We got some of the variation and that in. But I want to get this island connected up to this little bit here. So that then when the time comes, we can just start working on this island as a whole on its own. And I think we can get that entire thing done in one episode. So I've got a few ideas of what I want to put on there, but basically this is what we're going to be working on, just to step away from here for a little bit, give you guys a chance to actually respond and let me know what you think about the sanctuary. But with all of that being said, it's been a bit of a different episode. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys in the next one.